Have you ever felt like your anger is controlling you instead of the other way around? Welcome to our channel, where we explore tools for personal growth and emotional mastery. In today's video, we'll dive into controlling your anger, 7 strategies to master emotions, elevate your mindset, and take ownership of your life by Ronald Normandy. A powerful guide to understanding and transforming anger into a tool for positive change. From uncovering hidden triggers to embracing forgiveness and cultivating a positive mindset, this book offers actionable steps for regaining control of your emotions and your life. If you're ready to master your emotions and elevate your mindset, hit that subscribe button and join our community of growth-oriented individuals. Don't forget to like this video and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our inspiring content. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Track down the triggers. In controlling your anger, Ronald Normandy begins by emphasizing the critical importance of understanding anger's root causes. Chapter 1 of this book serves as a foundational step in mastering emotions by urging readers to identify what provokes their anger. This chapter asserts that anger rarely arises in isolation. It is often a reaction to deeper issues, unresolved emotions, or specific situations. By diving into the origins of our anger, we gain self-awareness, which allows us to address it constructively instead of reacting impulsively. Normandy stresses that identifying triggers is not about assigning blame, but about uncovering patterns in our responses. This reflective process enables individuals to regain control over their emotions and make healthier decisions. A key takeaway from this chapter is the distinction between internal and external triggers. Internal triggers, such as unmet expectations or suppressed emotions, stem from our inner world. For instance, someone who feels unappreciated at work might become angry when a colleague takes credit for their efforts. The root issue here isn't the colleague's action alone, but the underlying frustration of feeling undervalued. External triggers, on the other hand, are situational factors like traffic jams, rude behavior, or financial stress. While external triggers are often out of our control, Normandy points out that our reactions to them are entirely within our power. This lesson teaches readers the importance of taking responsibility for their responses rather than letting anger dictate their behavior. Normandy also delves into how past experiences shape our anger triggers. Traumatic events, unresolved conflicts, or dysfunctional family dynamics often lay the groundwork for reactive patterns. For example, someone who grew up in a household where emotions were suppressed may struggle to express their anger healthfully, resulting in explosive outbursts when provoked. Conversely, an individual from an overly critical environment might become defensive or hypersensitive to perceived criticism. By recognizing how their history influences their present behavior, readers can break free from these cycles and replace them with healthier coping mechanisms. This introspection is not easy, but is an essential step toward emotional mastery. Another significant theme in this chapter is the role of relationships in triggering anger. Normandy examines how interactions with family, friends, and partners often ignite strong emotional reactions due to the deep bonds involved. For instance, a parent might feel anger when their child refuses to follow rules, not just because of the disobedience, but due to fears of failing as a caregiver. Similarly, conflicts with friends or partners often trigger anger because of unmet expectations or breaches of trust. Normandy suggests that setting boundaries and practicing assertive communication can help mitigate such triggers, fostering healthier and more respectful relationships. Finally, Normandy offers actionable steps for managing triggers. He encourages readers to create a trigger journal to document situations that provoke anger, their emotional responses, and any patterns that emerge. This practice helps individuals identify recurring themes and develop targeted strategies for coping. For example, if someone realizes that traffic consistently triggers their anger, they might adopt calming techniques like listening to audiobooks or practicing deep breathing. Normandy also advocates for proactive measures like setting boundaries, practicing mindfulness, and seeking professional support when necessary. By addressing the root causes of anger instead of merely suppressing it, individuals can cultivate greater emotional resilience and build a more balanced and fulfilling life. In summary, Chapter 1 is a call to self-awareness and personal accountability. By identifying triggers, understanding their origins, and implementing constructive strategies, readers can transform their relationship with anger. This chapter not only provides practical tools, but also emphasizes the transformative power of reflection and action. Whether it's addressing unresolved traumas, navigating challenging relationships, or tackling everyday stressors, the lessons from this chapter offer a roadmap for emotional growth and empowerment. Chapter 2. Make healthy habits your home. In Chapter 2 of Controlling Your Anger, Ronald Normandy emphasizes the powerful connection between healthy habits and emotional well-being. The chapter begins by explaining that our physical and emotional states are intricately linked, with daily routines, food consumption, and lifestyle choices directly influencing our mental health and capacity to manage anger. Normandy highlights that maintaining a balanced diet, engaging in regular physical activity, and avoiding substances like alcohol and drugs are foundational to emotional regulation. For example, poor dietary habits can lead to fluctuations in blood sugar levels, which can exacerbate irritability and make anger harder to control. This chapter encourages readers to view their body as a system that requires maintenance and care, stressing that a healthy lifestyle isn't just about looking good, but feeling emotionally balanced and resilient. The author also draws attention to how modern habits, particularly excessive screen time and social media use, contribute to stress and irritability. Social media platforms, while offering connection, can often act as a source of comparison and negativity, which in turn triggers feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and even anger. Normandy provides practical advice on setting limits for social media usage and replacing screen time with more productive habits, such as reading, journaling, or spending quality time with loved ones. A real-life example could be someone who finds themselves frequently angry after scrolling through social media posts showcasing seemingly perfect lives. By reducing their screen time and focusing on activities that bring genuine joy, they can reduce unnecessary anger triggers and cultivate a more positive mindset. Normandy also examines the importance of sleep and routine in this chapter. He discusses how lack of proper rest can leave individuals emotionally vulnerable, with poor sleep often correlating with shorter tempers and heightened reactivity. For instance, a parent juggling work and family responsibilities might notice they are more irritable and prone to angry outbursts on days when they've had little sleep. By prioritizing rest and creating a bedtime routine, such as avoiding caffeine late in the day, limiting screen time before bed, and establishing consistent sleep schedules, they can improve their emotional resilience and better manage anger triggers. Normandy makes it clear that seemingly small adjustments to our routines can have a profound impact on our ability to handle stress and remain calm under pressure. Another key theme of the chapter is the detrimental role of alcohol and drug use in anger management. Normandy explains that while substances like alcohol may temporarily numb stress, they often impair judgment and self-control, making individuals more prone to outbursts. He shares examples of individuals who, under the influence, have said or done things they later regret, straining relationships and creating emotional distress. By replacing these harmful habits with healthier alternatives, such as exercising, meditating, or talking to a trusted friend, individuals can foster emotional stability. Normandy's message is clear. True anger management begins with taking care of the body and mind in ways that support long-term health, not just momentary relief. Finally, Chapter 2 of this book ties everything together by stressing the importance of consistency. Normandy points out that making healthy habits a part of daily life is a process that requires dedication but yields significant rewards. It's not enough to eat well for a week or go to the gym occasionally. Instead, sustainable routines must be established and maintained over time. For example, someone trying to reduce their anger by exercising regularly might initially struggle with consistency, but will notice significant improvements in their emotional regulation once the habit becomes ingrained. The overarching lesson is that small, consistent changes compound into substantial benefits, enabling individuals to lead calmer, more centered lives. This chapter invites readers to reflect on their current habits, identify areas for improvement, and take deliberate steps toward creating a lifestyle that supports emotional well-being. Chapter 3. Establish valuable relationships. Chapter 3 focuses on the pivotal role of relationships in managing anger and fostering emotional well-being. The author emphasizes that our relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, are deeply intertwined with our emotional responses. Healthy relationships act as a buffer against stress and anger, while toxic ones can amplify negative emotions. This chapter encourages readers to evaluate the people in their lives and prioritize connections that promote mutual respect, support, and understanding. By recognizing how relationships influence anger, we can work toward creating bonds that enhance our emotional stability and help us grow as individuals. One key takeaway is the importance of identifying negative influences in our social circles. Toxic friendships or relationships can trigger feelings of frustration, resentment, or even rage. For instance, having a friend who constantly belittles your achievements or dismisses your emotions can lead to bottled-up anger. The book advises distancing yourself from such influences or addressing the behavior constructively. On the flip side, surrounding yourself with uplifting and understanding people can significantly reduce stress. A real-life example might be a workplace where a team member habitually criticizes your work. Instead of letting this anger fester, the book suggests setting boundaries and focusing on building supportive professional relationships to maintain a healthy emotional environment. Another lesson revolves around the significance of choosing the right partner and nurturing romantic relationships. Anger often stems from unmet expectations, miscommunication, or unresolved past traumas that surface in intimate partnerships. The book highlights the necessity of aligning values and fostering open communication to avoid misunderstandings. For example, a couple might argue frequently because one partner feels unheard during conflicts. The chapter suggests that both partners commit to active listening and expressing their needs calmly. By choosing partners who value emotional growth and mutual understanding, and by investing in open, honest communication, individuals can reduce the triggers that lead to anger in romantic relationships. Family relationships also play a critical role in shaping our emotional responses. Often, unresolved conflicts or unmet expectations within families can be a significant source of anger. The book explores how setting boundaries and engaging in empathetic communication can transform these dynamics. For instance, if a parent frequently imposes their expectations on their adult child, it may lead to frustration. The author recommends approaching such situations by calmly explaining personal goals and limitations while seeking mutual respect. By addressing familial issues constructively, individuals can mend strained bonds and create a supportive family environment that minimizes anger triggers. Finally, the chapter underscores the importance of building relationships with individuals who challenge us to grow in positive ways. These allies, whether mentors, colleagues, or friends, can help us adopt new perspectives, manage stress, and enhance our emotional intelligence. For example, a friend who encourages mindfulness practices or helps you see the humor in difficult situations can become a valuable source of positivity. The book stresses that such relationships are not only beneficial for anger management, but also enrich our lives overall. By fostering relationships that bring out the best in us, we can navigate challenges with greater resilience and reduce the emotional toll of anger-inducing situations. In summary, Chapter 3 highlights the profound impact of relationships on our ability to manage anger. By choosing positive influences, setting boundaries, fostering open communication, and surrounding ourselves with growth-oriented individuals, we can create a supportive network that helps us maintain emotional stability. These lessons remind us that relationships are not just a source of joy, but also a tool for personal growth and self-mastery. Chapter 4. The Power of a Positive Mindset. Chapter 4 of this book focuses on the transformative role of a positive mindset in anger management. It explains that anger often stems from deeply ingrained negativity and fixed perspectives, which can magnify minor frustrations into overwhelming emotional reactions. The chapter emphasizes shifting one's mental framework to a positive, growth-oriented mindset, allowing individuals to view challenges as opportunities for learning rather than as threats. A positive mindset serves as a buffer against anger triggers, equipping individuals with tools to navigate conflicts with clarity and composure. One key takeaway from this chapter is the importance of overcoming the negativity bias, our tendency to focus more on negative experiences than positive ones. This evolutionary trait, once essential for survival, can exacerbate anger in modern life. For example, someone who receives constructive criticism at work might focus solely on the negative aspects of the feedback, interpreting it as a personal attack. By consciously reframing the situation, they can view the feedback as an opportunity to improve their performance, transforming what could have been a source of anger into a growth experience. The lesson here is that practicing gratitude is crucial in this life. Another critical concept explored is the science behind a positive mindset. Research shows that positivity enhances emotional regulation by activating areas of the brain responsible for reasoning and problem solving. The chapter introduces techniques like cognitive reframing, which involves identifying and challenging distorted thoughts that fuel anger. For example, when stuck in traffic, instead of succumbing to rage and blaming others for the delay, one can reframe the situation. This is a chance to listen to my favorite podcast or practice deep breathing. This small mental shift reduces stress and prevents anger from escalating. The broader lesson is that we cannot always control external circumstances, but we can control how we interpret and respond to them. The chapter also highlights how a growth mindset, a belief that abilities and emotions can be developed through effort, plays a significant role in managing anger. A person with a growth mindset views setbacks as opportunities for improvement rather than as personal failures. For instance, someone who snaps at a friend during an argument might reflect on the incident later and decide to practice better communication strategies in the future. This approach not only fosters emotional resilience, but also strengthens relationships. The key takeaway is that adopting a growth mindset enables us to learn from our mistakes and continuously improve how we handle anger. Finally, from this chapter, the power of a positive mindset underscores the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness. Techniques like meditation and journaling help individuals recognize patterns in their thoughts and emotions, providing clarity on what triggers anger and how to manage it effectively. A practical real-life example might involve a parent who feels overwhelmed by their child's defiance. Instead of reacting impulsively, the parent can use mindfulness to pause, reflect, and respond calmly, thereby modeling constructive behavior for the child. The chapter teaches us that by integrating mindfulness into daily life, we can cultivate a calmer, more composed approach to challenging situations, ultimately enhancing emotional well-being and reducing anger. Chapter 5. Managing anger in public situations. This chapter explores the challenges of controlling anger in public environments, where the potential for emotional escalation is heightened by stress, misunderstandings, and external pressures. The chapter emphasizes the harmful effects of public anger on personal reputation, relationships, and emotional well-being. Whether it's an argument at work, frustration during a traffic jam, or an embarrassing outburst in a social gathering, public anger can create lasting damage to one's credibility and mental peace. The key message is clear. Mastering anger in public settings requires emotional intelligence, proactive strategies, and the ability to maintain composure even under pressure. A primary focus of this chapter is the workplace, which often acts as a breeding ground for anger due to stressors like tight deadlines, demanding bosses, or difficult coworkers. For instance, a manager constantly criticizing an employee may trigger anger, but lashing out could harm the employee's career. Instead, the chapter suggests using logical communication and addressing issues calmly. Techniques such as taking deep breaths, stepping away momentarily, or using neutral language help de-escalate tense situations. These strategies protect professional relationships and foster a positive working environment. Real-life application of these tactics is evident in conflict resolution scenarios, where remaining composed can transform confrontations into opportunities for understanding and growth. The chapter also delves into managing anger in public spaces, such as during disputes with strangers or frustrating situations like long queues or rude service staff. For instance, being cut off in traffic might provoke road rage, but responding aggressively could lead to dangerous consequences. The lesson here is to pause and reframe the situation, recognizing that the other driver may not have acted intentionally or that their actions don't define your emotional state. Instead of reacting, redirecting the energy into something productive, such as listening to calming music or reflecting on a positive thought, can defuse anger. The takeaway is that public outbursts often escalate conflict, so it's vital to adopt mindful practices to keep emotions in check. In addition to individual strategies, the chapter highlights the importance of creating boundaries to mitigate anger-inducing situations. For example, declining to engage in heated debates with colleagues or choosing not to attend events with hostile individuals can prevent unnecessary anger. Setting these boundaries is a proactive way of managing emotions and maintaining a sense of control. The chapter encourages readers to recognize their triggers and plan responses in advance, such as rehearsing polite refusals or identifying safe spaces to retreat when overwhelmed. By doing so, individuals can maintain their composure and avoid the ripple effects of public anger on their personal and professional lives. Ultimately, Chapter 5 of this book teaches that emotional regulation is a skill that can be honed with practice. The chapter underscores the importance of self-awareness in identifying the physical and emotional signs of anger, such as increased heart rate or tense muscles, as early warning signals. Developing a toolkit of calming techniques, like practicing mindfulness, visualizing positive outcomes, or seeking support from trusted peers, can help individuals navigate public spaces with confidence and grace. By mastering these lessons, readers learn that controlling anger in public is not about suppressing emotions, but channeling them constructively, preserving their dignity, and fostering harmony in their interactions. Chapter 6: Forgiving and Letting Go. This chapter explores the profound connection between forgiveness and emotional freedom. The chapter emphasizes that holding on to anger, grudges, and resentment often weighs us down emotionally, creating barriers to personal growth and well-being. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about releasing the grip of anger and bitterness that often ties us to the past. By letting go of these negative emotions, individuals can reclaim their peace of mind and focus on building a healthier future. The chapter also explains that forgiveness benefits not only our mental and emotional health, but our physical well-being as well, as unresolved anger can contribute to stress and related health issues like hypertension. A key takeaway here is that forgiveness is a choice, a decision to prioritize your inner peace over dwelling on past wrongs. The chapter walks readers through the process of letting go of resentment, beginning with self-reflection. It challenges individuals to examine the root causes of their anger and identify the emotional wounds that keep them stuck. For instance, someone who has experienced betrayal in a friendship may find it hard to move past the hurt. They might replay the events in their mind, feeling justified in their anger, but trapped in a cycle of bitterness. The lesson here is that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the betrayal, but choosing to stop letting it control your emotions. Real-life examples include individuals who have endured significant betrayals, yet find freedom and healing by choosing forgiveness. This doesn't mean reconciliation is mandatory. Another key concept the chapter highlights is the importance of self-forgiveness. Many people struggle with letting go of mistakes they've made in the past, allowing guilt and shame to cloud their present and future. For example, a parent who feels they failed to support their child in a critical moment may harbor years of self-blame. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and anger at oneself, which can spill over into other areas of life. The chapter emphasizes that self-forgiveness is an essential part of the healing process. By acknowledging mistakes, learning from them, and committing to self-compassion, individuals can break free from the prison of self-criticism. A practical lesson here is to treat yourself with the same empathy and understanding that you would offer a loved one. The chapter also explores techniques for cultivating forgiveness, including empathy and reframing. Empathy involves attempting to see the situation from the perspective of the person who caused the harm. For example, Understanding that a coworker who is rude to you might be dealing with personal challenges can make it easier to let go of resentment. Reframing focuses on altering your interpretation of events, shifting your perspective from seeing yourself as a victim to recognizing the experience as an opportunity for growth. The lesson here is that changing the narrative surrounding your pain can empower you to take back control of your emotions. These tools help dismantle the mental barriers that prevent forgiveness, creating space for emotional healing. Lastly, the chapter acknowledges that forgiveness is not always easy or immediate. For those dealing with deep traumas, such as abuse or neglect, letting go can be an ongoing journey that requires patience and support. In such cases, seeking help from a therapist or counselor can be invaluable in processing emotions and building a path to forgiveness. The ultimate lesson is that forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you. It is an act of self-care and emotional liberation. By practicing forgiveness, whether it's directed at others or yourself, you gain the power to break free from the past, embrace the present, and move forward with a sense of peace and resilience. Chapter 7. Controlling Anger with Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. This chapter emphasizes the transformative power of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, in managing anger. CBT, a widely respected therapeutic approach, targets the relationship between thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It teaches individuals to identify and restructure irrational or distorted thinking patterns that fuel anger. By reframing these thoughts, individuals gain control over their emotional responses and adopt healthier, more constructive behaviors. This chapter explores the practical application of CBT, offering actionable insights for those struggling with anger. A primary focus of this chapter is the concept of cognitive distortions, which are exaggerated or irrational thoughts that amplify anger. Common examples include catastrophizing, assuming the worst possible outcome, and personalization, believing every negative event is a personal attack. For instance, someone stuck in traffic might catastrophize by thinking, "This will ruin my entire day," or personalize by blaming the delay on others' incompetence. These distorted thoughts heighten frustration and provoke unnecessary anger. The chapter teaches readers how to challenge these distortions by questioning their validity and replacing them with balanced perspectives, such as, "Traffic delays happen. I can use this time to listen to an audiobook or practice mindfulness." Another key takeaway is the importance of internal dialogue in managing anger. The way individuals talk to themselves during stressful situations profoundly impacts their emotional responses. Negative self-talk, such as "this always happens to me" or "I can't deal with this," often exacerbates feelings of helplessness and anger. CBT encourages the use of positive self-talk to reframe these narratives. For example, instead of succumbing to frustration during an argument, one might remind themselves, "I can remain calm and address this constructively." Real-life applications of this technique include workplace scenarios, where maintaining composure during disagreements can lead to better resolutions and professional growth. The chapter also introduces cognitive restructuring, a CBT technique designed to challenge and reframe distorted thoughts. This process involves identifying the triggers and underlying beliefs that lead to anger. For example, if someone becomes angry when criticized, cognitive restructuring helps uncover the belief driving that anger, such as "criticism means I'm a failure," by replacing this belief with a more constructive thought, like "criticism is an opportunity for growth." Individuals can respond to challenging situations with curiosity rather than defensiveness. This skill is particularly valuable in relationships, where misunderstandings often lead to conflicts. By viewing disagreements as opportunities to strengthen mutual understanding, anger becomes less frequent and less intense. Lastly, the chapter emphasizes the role of behavioral techniques in managing anger. These include practical strategies such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness. These techniques help individuals calm their physiological responses to anger, such as increased heart rate and tense muscles, enabling them to think more clearly. For instance, a parent feeling overwhelmed by their child's defiance might pause, take deep breaths, and approach the situation with a calmer mindset. By breaking the cycle of reactive behavior, these techniques foster healthier interactions and more positive outcomes in various life domains. In conclusion, Chapter 7 of this book, which is the last chapter, demonstrates that anger is not an uncontrollable force, but an emotion that can be effectively managed through CBT techniques. By addressing distorted thoughts, cultivating positive self-talk, and practicing cognitive restructuring, individuals can break free from destructive anger patterns and lead more balanced, fulfilling lives. The chapter's lessons highlight the importance of self-awareness, patience, and persistence in this transformative journey. Real-life examples, from workplace challenges to personal relationships, illustrate the practical benefits of CBT, showing that with commitment, anyone can harness the power of their mind to overcome anger and foster emotional well-being. As we wrap up this journey through Controlling Your Anger by Ronald Normandy, remember that anger is not your enemy. It's a powerful emotion that, when understood and managed, can be a catalyst for personal growth and positive change. From identifying triggers and building healthy habits to embracing forgiveness and transforming your mindset, each strategy in this book offers tools to help you take control of your emotions and your life. If you found value in these insights, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more transformative content. And let us know in the comments which strategy resonated with you the most. Thank you for watching. And remember, true power lies in mastering your emotions. See you in the next video.